Setting clear intentions is such a powerful tool for personal growth and transformation. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in today's episode. So, welcome, my friend. I am your host, Rachel Hupp, and welcome to the Magic Mindfulness Podcast. I am a huge fan of setting intentions so that we can live with intentions, we can live mindfully, so that we can create the wildly aligned life of our dreams. And so that's what I want to help you to do today. So I will have some resources in the show notes that you can print out, you can access, you can save, and you can schedule this intention setting practice quarterly, monthly, even weekly if you want to. So let's go ahead and dive in. What are we going to be covering today? Well, I'm going to be sharing one of my favorite tools with you to help you to assess your life balance, to see where you are, to see where you might want to focus a little bit more time and energy. We're going to do a powerful reflection process to help us see what is going well? What do we want to carry forward with us into this next stage and season of our life? And where might we be better served to let things go? Those self-limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging behaviors. And finally, I'm going to help guide you to set a powerful intention for the quarter ahead. So welcome. Let's go ahead and dive in. Now, as we transition into a new month, as I'm recording this, it is early October and a brand new quarter, the last quarter of 2024. Wow. So it's just the perfect time to reflect on our journey and to set meaningful intentions to help guide us forward. So this quarter, as we are moving from the vibrant energy of summer into a more introspective autumn, I invite you to engage in a mindful transition. So we're going to take a moment to just ground. If you are driving, of course, or operating any kind of heavy machinery, you obviously want to keep your eyes open, focus on the task at hand. But if you are in a safe space, go ahead and sit down or maybe even stand up, whatever you feel like doing, but really ground down through whatever part of your body is touching the support beneath you. Good. Allow yourself to be held and supported. And if it feels okay, go ahead and soften down or close the eyes. Offer yourself a long, slow, deep breath all the way in. Gently let it go. And let's do that 2 more times. Deep breath all the way in. Let the breath all the way back out. And one more time, inhale deeply. And just let it go. And I want to invite you to visualize yourself 1 year from now, 1 year from today. And how do you feel? Physically, mentally, emotionally, how do you feel? How do you carry yourself? How do you move in your body, in your world? What are you wearing? Where do you like to eat? What restaurants do you like to visit? What trips do you have planned? And so let's say I bump into you 1 year from now and you are so excited. You're like, oh my gosh, Rachel, you are not going to believe the year that I had. What would you be telling me? What would you be telling me? What are you excited about? What are you grateful for? What has helped you to make this year the most wildly aligned life beyond your dreams? Soak that in. Feel into that. And, maybe something specific came up for you. Maybe you're not really sure. Either way is totally fine. But I'm going to invite you to be open to receiving all that you know to ask for and more. So take another deep breath in and gently let it go. Good. So we're going to begin today's intention setting practice after that visualization and grounding for a moment. Now we're ready to spend a little bit of time in reflection because we need to know where we've been to help know where we are going, to help guide us on this path, right? And so I'm going to invite you to reflect not only on this past quarter, but also to look ahead to the coming months. And just consider, and you can journal about this, you can jot it down. What wisdom will you carry forward? And What are you ready to release? Because if you think about it, nature offers us this profound wisdom. Autumn teaches us the art of letting go with grace and preparing for new beginnings. And so, as you think about this past quarter, I'm going to invite you to, so we're thinking specifically right now for today's activity, July through September of 2024. But if you're doing this at a different time, just think about the last month or the last 3 months, whatever works for you. But for now, as we take a little time in reflection, thinking about July, August, and September, let's celebrate first. What are some wins? How did you grow? What growth did you experience, whether on a personal level, whether, any aspect of your life, financial, house projects? That's something we've been working on. What milestones did you reach or achieve? And you can think about maybe jotting down one a month or just in general over the past few months. What are your growth, your wins, and your milestones? Were there any highlights that really stand out? Maybe it was a big trip or some time with loved ones or something special that you did for yourself. What highlights do you have? And then what lessons did you learn? What worked? What you want to carry forward with you into this next stage and season of your life? Maybe you implemented a new habit of meditating in the morning, or listening to soothing music before you went to bed at night, or taking a bath on Sundays before the work week begins, so you take some time for self-care. What worked? And you want to keep doing that as you move into the next season. And then maybe what didn't work so well, what didn't go so well, what are you going to release? Maybe some self-limiting beliefs crept in, maybe some self-sabotaging behaviors that you're ready to let go of, maybe perfectionism or not setting healthy boundaries. What are you going to release? And then areas to nurture. We're going to get into this a little bit more. So let me just recap. We talked about celebrating your growth and your wins, acknowledging and celebrating any milestones that you reached, highlights what really stood out to you. When you look back on this year, when you look back on this last quarter, what are you going to remember? Those memories, the highlights. What lessons did you learn? What worked? And what are you going to release? All right, so now we want to explore some key areas together. So this is one of my favorite tools. And again, I'll link to it below in the show notes so you can download it for yourself if you want to. It's called a life balance wheel. And I do this at least once a quarter, and I keep them so that over time, I can look back and see how I have evolved, how my life balance wheel has evolved. I talk a lot about wildly aligned, creating the wildly aligned life of your dreams. And this balance, this life balance, that's part of it, right? The alignment. And so if you are not downloading the printout, if you're just doing this on your own, that's totally fine too. You're going to draw a circle on a sheet of paper. And I want you to imagine like 8 slices of a pie in that circle. So you've got a line down the center from top to bottom, a line across the center from left to right, and then diagonal lines across the circle as well. So you've got 8 evenly sliced pie slices. And so you can put any big categories in your life into these circles. For the intent of today's purpose, I'm going to use finance, that's usually a big one. Health, that's usually a big one. Love, friends, personal growth, career, home, and leisure. And so you are welcome, of course, to put anything you want into each of these buckets. So again, the ones I listed: personal growth, health, friends, love, leisure, home, career, and finance. So what you want to do, that spot in the center of your circle where all of those lines intersect, that is ground zero, my friend. And then the outer edge of the circle, that is a 10. So the closer in you are to the middle of the circle, we're going to rank each of these areas. The closer into the middle of the circle that you are, the less satisfied, the less fulfilled you feel in that area of your life. So if you're right in the middle of the circle, that means that it could not be worse. It's just awful. And if you're on the very outer edge of the circle, that means you've made it, my friend. That is the very best it could ever possibly be. And you can't imagine getting any better. Now, most of us are going to be somewhere in the middle of that spectrum. And so I want you to not spend too much time on this. Go with your gut feeling and just rank each of these areas on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the best. And rank each of these areas for how satisfied, how fulfilled do you feel in this area of your life today. So again, just see what pops up, see what number pops into your head as I say each of these categories. Finance, career, and you're just going to put a dot in each of those, or you can color it in up to that certain point if you want to draw a line across the sphere, the pie slice. So finance, career, home, leisure, love, friends, health, personal growth. And again, if you chose different categories, that is totally fine as well. But just think about when you look at this, once you've categorized each of those, once you've ranked each of those, first we celebrate. Think of the areas that you ranked the highest. Why did you rank them high? What is going well in those areas? Are there any lessons or insights that we can gain from these areas as to why you ranked them well? And then I want you to look at the areas that you ranked the lowest. 1 or 2 areas probably is enough. Look at the areas where you ranked the lowest. And for each of those areas, I'm going to invite you to consider 1, maybe 2 things that you could do over the next 3 months, even over the next month, to rank that area a little bit higher if you do this activity again in 3 months. And so again, I do encourage you to set a reminder on your calendar to do this in early January or late December so that you can set these powerful intentions each quarter. You can do it every month if you want to. But notice the areas that you rank the highest, celebrate those wins, right? And then think about the areas that you ranked a bit lower and think about, how can you improve that area? And so like we talked about earlier, those are the areas to nurture. All right, so that is a pretty powerful practice, isn't it? So now we are going to work on setting some powerful intentions. All right, so let's start with a focus. Now that we've spent some time in reflection, now that you have reflected and considered and visualized where you want to be, what do you want to focus your intention on this next quarter? Maybe it's an energy. So for example, I choose a word every year to guide me. My word for this year was expansion. I wanted to expand my comfort zone. I wanted to expand my reach, my audience by starting this podcast. I wanted to expand into feeling free to take up space in my body and my life exactly as I am, to be more authentic, to be more brave, to be more confident, because I have been historically very shy, very introverted. And so it's hard for me to step out, to expand into the wholeness of my being and to share that in an authentic way. I tend to be very quiet and introverted. And so my word for the year was expansion, and that guides the rest of my intentions as I move throughout the rest of the year. So maybe if that idea, that concept resonates with you and you want to pick a word or an energy to focus on for this next quarter, you're welcome to do that. If one of the areas in your life balance wheel indicated that you really need to nurture that area, that might be your intention focus. Your intention focus is your North Star this quarter, right? So this is what is your guiding light. And then think about some milestones. What stepping stones will lead you to your goals, right? So I encourage you to write down 3 milestones. I like to break them down 1 a month since it's a quarter. So by the end of October, what is 1 milestone you want to achieve? What about November? What about December? And these can be tangible things. They might be less tangible things. Some of us are trying to find our voice. We're trying to find the confidence, the courage to speak our truth in a loving and warm but truthful way. And so that might be pretty vague. Maybe it's saying no to 1 thing a week. Maybe it is telling somebody that, you don't agree with them. Or if you are training for, let's say you're training for a 5K, maybe by the end of month 1, you want to sign up for a race and get up to walking 2 miles. Maybe by the end of month 2, you want to be able to jog 2 miles. And maybe by the end of month 3, you want to be able to jog that whole 5K. So, what are the milestones that are going to help you to get to this goal, right? Your focus for the month. Maybe, if you're working on finances, maybe you want to get to a habit of setting aside $100 a month for your savings. That would be $100 saved month 1, 200 by the end of month 2, and 300 by the end of month 3. Whatever your goals are, whatever your intention focus is, whatever your North Star is, you want to think about what stepping stones will lead you towards your goals. And then you got to think about your why. Why is this important to you? Why are you going to stick with it, even when things get hard, even when you lose motivation? What are you excited for? Why is this important to you? Make sure that you know why you are doing this, right? And what are you scared of? What are you scared of? For my example, expansion is scary, right? Our nervous system likes to stay in its comfort zone. It doesn't like to step out of its comfort zone. And so starting this podcast, I was scared that people weren't going to like it. I was scared that nobody was going to listen. I was scared that you're not going to like what I have to say, or you're not going to agree with me, or I would get nasty comments on it. I'm a pretty grounded person and I try to share from my heart, but these are the fears that crept up, these self-limiting beliefs that could have held me back if I let them. So what are you scared of? What could potentially hold you back? And then going back to what we talked about earlier, from what worked well for you from the last season and what didn't, I want you to consider what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. What are you going to do and what are you not going to do as we move into this new quarter? So if one of your goals is to work out in the mornings and you have been staying up well past your bedtime binging on Netflix, maybe you're going to not stay up past your bedtime binging on Netflix so that you can wake up in the morning to do your workout. So what you might do instead is set an alarm reminder on your phone so that it reminds you to go to bed at that certain time, right? So you can get up and do your workout. So what are you going to do? What are you going to carry forward with you? And like the leaves and the trees, what are you going to drop, let go of, release? Thank it for serving you. Thank it for serving its purpose, and for the opportunities that it's presented to you. Find that gratitude for it and then release it and let it go. And so writing down your main goals. And so when you think about your intention, your North Star, and you think about milestones, again, let's go back to the 5K example. So your milestone is by the end of month 3, you want to have run 5K. So your main goals, how do you want to break your goals up? Do you want to break your goals up? You can break them down into the month, these big milestones. But then what are the main goals, the daily rituals, the daily habits, the routines, the systems that are going to get you to those milestones? So these are going to be the things, the actions, small, consistent actions that support your growth, aligning with your values and your authentic self. So your main goals. So let's say, by the end of month 1, we said I wanted to sign up for a 5K and I wanted to get up to walking 2 or 3 miles. So that means I have to find a 5K that I can do, whether it's virtual or in person somewhere. I need to find a 5K and sign up for it. And I need to get into a habit of walking. I need to get into a habit of moving. So that means, for me, I might be walking 5 days a week. And I might start out with 15 minutes and then bump it up to 20 minutes and then 25 minutes and then half an hour until I get to the point where I'm up to my mile goal. So I can break that down weekly, right? If by the end of month 1, I want to be up to 2 miles, then in week 1, I need to walk at least half a mile. Week 2, 1 mile. Week 3, 1.5. Week 4, 2. So these are your goals, right? So these are the goals, the habits, the rituals, the consistent actions. They're going to support your growth and help you achieve those milestones so that you can reach that focused and intention focus for this quarter. All right, my friend, feel free to spend some time on this activity. We've covered quite a bit here in a short time. We've talked about, visualizing, the importance of visualization to help us really imagine this wildly aligned life beyond our dreams, and how we can take intentional and mindful actions to create this wildly aligned life, one step, one day, 1 week at a time. And so I want to give you an example of a powerful intention statement for this quarter. And so this is just an example. I'll give you a blank one in the handout that goes with this session. So you can find that again in the show notes. But one example would be in the fourth quarter of 2024, I release resistance and embrace flow. I cultivate awareness of nature's wisdom and trust the changes unfolding in my life. I explore new ways to align with my authentic self and celebrate the courage it takes to grow. So here's a blank one, and you can feel into it. Again, I'll give you this template, but you can craft your own intention for the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter of 2024, I release blank and embrace blank. I cultivate blank and prioritize blank. I explore blank and celebrate blank. Now, once you have crafted your intention, I want you to write it down and put it somewhere where you're going to see it often. You can put it, some of my clients like to put it on their desktop background. Some people use it as a phone background. Some people have it as a sticky note on their computer. So the first thing they see when they log in the morning is that intention. Some people will put it on the bathroom mirror. So wherever you're going to see it often, make sure you write it down and put it somewhere where you're going to see it a lot. And you can use this as a touchstone to reconnect with your inner wisdom and stay committed to your growth journey. You really want to be connected with the excitement, the energy, the why. And then throughout the quarter, I invite you to really approach your intentions with openness, with trust, and with a willingness to step out of your comfort zone. Celebrate your wins, my friends. Celebrate moments of awareness. Celebrate trust and release, knowing that by embracing your inner wisdom, you open yourself up to a greater purpose and fulfillment so you can mindfully design this wildly aligned life of your dreams. And remember, you have the power to create a life that is aligned with your deepest passions and desires. By setting clear intentions, my friend, by taking aligned action, you can cultivate a sense of purpose that will positively impact all areas of your life. You have the power to change your life. Now, I look forward to supporting you on this journey of self-discovery and growth. I would love to hear in the comments how this goes for you. Let me know your intentions, your powerful intentions. And if you would like some guidance around setting intentions, I do have my monthly yoga membership, the Zen Space, and you're welcome to join us over there. Every month we have an intention setting practice so that we can stay reconnected and recommitted to designing our wildly aligned life, right? To creating with intention and mindfulness this wildly aligned life of our dreams. So if you are interested in joining us in the Zen Space, we've got 4 live stream yoga sessions every single month, and you get the replays too, along with my growing library of on-demand yoga classes. I teach Monday mornings normally from 7:45 to 8:30. I am a morning person, but if you're not, no worries, just schedule 45 minutes on your calendar somewhere within the week to watch the replay. And let's see. Oh, yes. I also have a mini retreat coming up in 1 week from today. So Thursday, October 10th, 2024. I've got an autumn virtual mini retreat. And so this is going to be a little bit of yoga, some mindful meditation, some powerful intention setting. And we are going to leave anything behind that's not serving us and really create space to design our wildly aligned life. So if you are watching this now, that is included in the Zen Space. So you're welcome to join the Zen Space and you can get access to my yoga and mindfulness mini retreat as well. Or you can just drop in for the mini retreat. It's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. on October 10th. And if you are catching this later, then you can purchase the replay to that mini retreat if you would like to. So, all right, my friend, we've covered a lot. Let me know how this goes for you. Put it into practice, spend some time on it, journal, reflect, set intentions, and go on out there and create the wildly aligned life of your dreams. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.